ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। I'm just going to read few verses from Mangalacharan. वन्दे गुरूनीशभक्तान् ईशाम् ईशावतारकान् तत्प्रकाशांश्च तत्प्रक्तीः कृष्णचैतन्यसंज्ञकम्. Offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, his plenary portions, his energies, and the primal Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So, Gurun is plural unto the spiritual masters, because there is one Diksha Guru and then there are many Shiksha Gurus. So, unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord, Isha Bhaktan, then Ishavatarakan, the Lord's incarnations, uh, then plenary portions, uh, Shakti, Prakashans, manifestations, which is plenary portions, Shakti, all his energies, and the primal Lord himself. So, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is offering obeisances to all of them. वन्दे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्दौ सहोदितौ गौडोदये पुष्पवन्तौ चित्रौ सन्दौ तमोनुदौ. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They were risen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Okay. What the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord, known as the Super Soul, is but localized plenary portion. Is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, with full with six opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him. So clearly, in the beginning of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is establishing that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, then there's one whole chapter where he goes ahead to actually establish that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Okay, so now I'm going to go into. So this is just for all of us to know and understand that Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna himself. He is not an avatara, right? He is Swayam Krishna. Hmm. So, Narottam Das Thakur sings, right? Hari Hari Vipale Janma Goy. मनुष्य जन्म पाया राधा कृष्ण ना बजिया जानिया सुनिया विषय खाइनु गोलो खेर प्रेमदन हरिनाम संकीर्तन प्रतिना जन्मिले तेन खाए. um, what is that? संसारा बिशानाले दिवानिशी हिया ज्वले जुराए थे ना कोई न उपाय ब्रजेंद्र नंदन जय सची सुत होइलो से बलराम होइलो निताय. Brajendra Nandana. Brajendra Nandana is Krishna. Brajendra Nandana, what happened? Sachi Sutta Hoilo say. He became Sachi Sutta, which is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So, very clearly delineating the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, everybody is advised to actually read Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is written by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, because Chaitanya Bhagavat actually deals with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's um, life, most of his Balya and Pauganda Lila, and also so mainly his first 24 years is discussed in great detail by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and he's also touched a little bit on the later Leelas. And so when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he's writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, many places he says that this has already been discussed by the Vyasadev of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Leela. Vyasadev. Vyasadev is Vrindavan Das Thakur of Chaitanya Leela. So he's already described it, so I'm not going to repeat it. And then he only discusses those aspects which are not present, or which are not present even in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And the focus actually is on three aspects. One is this, all the pastimes or the details which were not there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Second is Chaitanya Tattva. So Chaitanya Bhagavat doesn't discuss so much about the whole Chaitanya Tattva, Pancha Tattva, the philosophy behind Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, not so much. So that is the second aspect which Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is actually detailing in a very, very, mm, detailed manner. And also the Bhagavad Tattva itself, as um, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he instructs Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and so many other devotees. The focus is also more on tattva as compared to Chaitanya Bhagavat. And the third, which is the most relishable for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, is the Antyalila. It's real nectar, real nectar. So first time I read it many years back, I just couldn't understand anything. I simply read to finish it. And many years back, that was almost like 7, 8 years back. And after that, I was focusing more on Bhagavatam. So I started reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's really nectar. It's nectar, as the name suggests, Chaitanya Charita Amrita. So it goes into the actual understanding of what Gaudiya Vaishnavas are wanting or desiring, is the actual tattva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the reason why he came, the confidential reason why he came to this material world, who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, and that mood of uh, love. So it's very, very. I mean, I don't have words at all. It's just Amrita. It's so relishable. So uh, I don't want this to become very elaborate Chaitanya Charitamrita discussion, because we will do that after we finish our Bhagavatam. But I want to go over some key um, chapters from Chaitanya Charitamrita which are very critical. So one of the things actually which I was hearing the other day from his Holiness Gaur Gobind Swami Maharaj, so I was hearing some lecture. So he was actually talking about Nama Tattva, and he was talking about chanting. And this I had heard before, but again, got reinforced. He said like for us to achieve Krishna Prema, so we know the path is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are chanting with offenses. So even though philosophically maybe we might not be doing Guru Sadhu Ninda, thinking of Krishna or Vishnu to be equal to the demigods, or doing Hare Krishna as karma kanda, and all of those we might not be get stuck there. But two things we get stuck. One is aham and mama, right? Still having material attachment, and even after getting past that, even after a devotee gets past this material attachment, is inattention, right? So we literally end up, we continue to do offenses for a long time in our chanting, right? And what is the way out? What is the way out? If we continue to keep doing offenses, how are we going to make progress? How are we making progress even today? Right? That is the great mercy of Panchatattva. Uh, so that is the reason why we have to chant the Panchatattva mantra. So what is the criteria for chanting Panchatattva mantra? Actually, it is begging for forgiveness from the offenses. Otherwise, those offenses will keep accumulating and it will prevent our progress. So when we actually pray to Panchatattva, they will dissolve those offenses. So when we chant the Panchatattva mantra, we should be very, very prayerful, more attentive than we normally are while chanting. If while chanting Hare Krishna, we are generally inattentive. Definitely while chanting Panchatattva, we should be attentive. We should be literally falling at their lotus feet. Because actually it's only by their mercy. It's only by their mercy that we can actually overcome offenses and actually make progress. So if our if our chanting is with inattention, then we should be chanting Panchatattva mantra after every round. Sometimes our chanting, we get into flow and we might just be completely engrossed, in which case we don't have to necessarily break the flow and then chant Panchatattva mantra. But if we are generally distracted, in order to make that, absolve us from all those offenses and actually for us to make progress, we should be chanting the Panchatattva mantra. And that is the mercy, that we understand. And that is the whole reason why the Panchatattva appeared, is to actually give us that mercy. Right? So this Chaitanya Charitamrita is very, very important. And the other thing that we actually understand, which we don't understand so much from Bhagavatam, is dealings with devotees, Vaishnava etiquette. Uh, there's so many topics. I mean, like literally, you almost feel like when you're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, like, how we can relate it to our dealings with other devotees, right? And what should be our mood? How should we deal with people? How should we deal with devotees? So many very practical aspects we get to learn from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So, which is why Srila Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Bhagavad Gita brings us to the stage of devotion, right? Surrendering to Krishna. Then Bhagavatam helps us to understand what do these devotees who are surrendered do? What is the position of the Lord? What is bhakti? Right? So three aspects in a lot more detail. And we become a perfect devotee by studying Bhagavatam. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu actually helps us understand bhakti in a lot more detail. So it can be considered along with Bhagavatam. A lot more details about Tattva, Bhakti Tattva in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is to become a so we'll become a pure devotee after reading Bhagavatam, and after reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, we'll become a perfect pure devotee, right? So for those fine tunings in our bhakti, Chaitanya Charitamrita is amazing. It gives us a very real insight into uh, how we should live in a devotee community, how we should deal with superiors, what is the meaning of humility, so many things. Literally, I mean, hundreds of things we can learn. Mm. So it's a very, very important thing, and uh, fortunately there is so much of nectar in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's also not so voluminous as Bhagavatam. So typically expectation is that devotees who are serious about Krishna consciousness, they read um, these books almost in a cyclic manner, one after the other. Like keep reading. Finish them again. Next sequence. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Again, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so on. Right? And if possible, if somebody is fortunate enough to have two reading slots in a day, then we should uh, try to do, both Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita together, like that, like two slots. This is very, very important aspect. Normally, we don't talk about this much, and this is very, very celebrated for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for us in this parampara. So it's not so much, I mean, for us, it is as good as Bhagavatam or any other Shastra, right? Because we understand and we accept that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So whatever has been spoken here, whatever has been given here is actually tattva for us, right? Vedescha sarve ramaiva vedyaha, Vedanta krit, Veda videva chaham. So Krishna is himself there here in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So please read. Reading is what keeps us alive, right? So much of so many things are there. So now I'm just skipping over a few things and I'm going to start discussing actually the external reasons of appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a unified form. In both Radha and Krishna came together in the person of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is Krishna uh, in the mood of Radharani, right? So we will understand some very, very important aspects of this tattva. So these two chapters are most important, actually 3 and 4. If you want to understand Chaitanya Tattva, Sri Chaitanya Tattva, we should read this 3 and 4. So I'm going to go into these two chapters to whatever extent I can enter into it, because this is a little bit above my, as they say, pay grade, as in my level of realization. But yeah,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, voice is little low. I'm not too
Lower.
sure if it's only for me. Yeah, just
What about
thought I'll let
others?
you know.
Yeah, thank you. Is it audible?
Okay,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Not bad.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Others are okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Yat Padashraya Viryatah Sangranati Akara Vratad Agna Siddhanta Sanmanin. So by the way, Chaitanya Charitamrita is a combination of verses which are in Sanskrit and also in Bengali, right? And it'll be, Prabhupada once said that whole world will learn Bengali to be able to relish Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, it's a very nice, beautiful language, very sweet. How you speak Bengali is with the rasgulla in your mouth. That's how you speak Bengali. Bengali. It's all oh, because just imagine there's a rasgulla in the mouth, and that's how we pronounce um, Bengali. So it's very, very sweet. Yeah, actually, the verses, when we start reading the Bengali, you will understand. Okay, I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet, even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth from the minds of the revealed scriptures. So this is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are all fools, but we can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth from the minds of the revealed scriptures. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Bengali is very easy to understand. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, all glories to Shri Chaitanya. Jaya Nityananda, all glories to Lord Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, all glories to Advaita Chandra, the Advaita Prabhu. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ कैल विवरण चतुर्थ श्लोकेर अर्थ शुन भक्तगण तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ third, the meaning of the third verse, Kaila Vivaran, I have described, I have explained. Chaturtha Shlokera Artha Shuna Bhaktagana. So I'm now going to explain the fourth verse. Please hear Bhaktagana or devotees. This is a very important one. Anarpitacharim chirat karunaya kalau samarpayitum unnatojvala rasam swabhakti shriyam haripurata sundara dyutik kadamba sandipitaha sada hridaya kandare spuratau va Satchinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as Son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart. So this is a blessing. This is a benediction from great Vaishnava. So may the Supreme Lord be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he is descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. What is that? The most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Unnatojjvala rasam, swabhakti shriyam, unnata ujjvala, unnata elevated, ujjvala rasa. Ujjvala rasa is madhuri rasa, sringara rasa, conjugal mellow. Swabhakti shriyam. This is the treasure. This is the treasure of bhakti. So he came resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, which is Srimati Radharani's mood. He came to give us the Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, mellow of conjugal love. Okay, so here Prabhupada is saying that this is from Vidagdha Madhava, a drama compiled and edited by Srila Rupa Goswami. So Chaitanya Charitamrita has references to multiple other scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, Gita Govinda, Chaitanya Chandrodaya, then Jagannath, Vallabha Nataka, so many other works actually have been referenced by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So this is from Vidagdha Madhava. So there are two dramas which have been written by Srila Rupa Goswami, Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava. So this is one is about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, and the other is about Krishna's pastimes in Dwarka. But we're not supposed to read all this till we finish Prabhupada's books at least 2 times. And then we should ideally ask our spiritual guide, mentor, whoever, if we are eligible to read these books. And if somebody really wants to know whether they're eligible to read these books or not, we should read Shivram Swami Maharaj's Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, where he's actually explaining what is the qualification. Actually, we need adhikar. We need adhikar to read different books. So Prabhupada has given Samanya adhikar, general adhikar to everybody to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So all of Prabhupada's books, he has given us the rights for authority, right? Or adhikar. No, but for reading other books of other acharyas, which obviously we should do, Prabhupada has said in multiple places that if we are serious in Krishna consciousness, in the first canto, Bhagavatam only says, first chapter, first verse, that we should read the books of our previous acharyas, but for which we need to develop adhikar. So that adhikar, we cannot decide. So whoever we are doing bhakti under whose devotee's guidance, we should check with them, and then we should read. So you will hear a lot of names of books. So please don't go start reading them. So that's why I'm just Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vrajendra Kumara Goloke Vrajera Saha Nitya Vihara. So this tune will keep changing. So from Bengali verses and this one, so I have to get used to it. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vrajendra Kumara Goloka Vrajera Saha Nitya Vihara. Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Raja, is the supreme Lord. He eternally enjoys transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode Goloka, which includes Vrajadhama. So now he's starting to tell what is the meaning of that fourth verse, which we just read previously, right? Now he's explaining. So this is how Chaitanya Charitamrita is. In the first chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has quoted multiple verses And then all the other chapters are just explanation of those verses. That's how it goes. He eternally enjoys transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode, Goloka, which includes Vrajadham. Brahmara ekadine tino ekabara avatirna hoya karena prakata vihara. Brahmara ekadine. In one day, once in a day of Brahma, he descends to this world to manifest his transcendental pastimes. Satyatreta dvapara kali chari yuga jani. Say chari yuge divya eka yuga mani. We know that there are four ages. Satya, Treta, Dvapara, Kali. These four together constitute one Divya Yuga. Ekattara Chaturyuge Eka Manvantara Chauda Manvantara Brahmara Divasa Bhitara. 71 Divya Yugas constitute one Manvantara. 71 Chaturyugas. So 71 into 4 Yugas constitute one Manvantara. There are 14 Manus. There are 14 Manvantaras in one day of Brahma. Vaivasvata nama saptama manvantara sata isha chaturyuga tahara antara. The present Manu, who is the seventh, is called Vaivasvata, son of Vivaswan. 27 Divya Yugas of his age have now passed. The other Manus are all given Swayambhuva, Swarochisha, Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusha. Vaivasvata is the seventh Manu. Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudraputra, Rudra Savarni, Raucha or Deva Savarni, and Bhautyaka or Indra Savarni. So this is seventh, which is Vaivasvata Manu, Vivaswan, son of Vivaswan, which is what Krishna is talking in Bhagavad Gita. Vivasvate Yogam Proktaman Aham Avyayam. Ashtavinsha Chaturyuge Dvaparera Sheshe Brajera Sahite Haya Krishnera Prakashe. At the end of the Dwapar Yuga of the 28th Divya Yuga. So 27 have passed of the 7th Manu. 28th Divya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna appears on the earth with full paraphernalia of his eternal Brajadhama. Now, generally, the sequence of the Yugas is actually Satya, Dwapara, Treta, Kali. Treta is third, right? So, normally it is Satya, Dwapara, Treta, Kali. But for the appearance of Krishna, the order changes. So normally we keep talking about Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. But actually the sequence is Satya, Dwapara, Treta, Kali. And only when Krishna appears, this sequence changes for various reasons. Okay, so at the end of the 28th Dwapar Yuga of the 28th Divya Yuga, in the 7th Manu, during the time of the 7th Manu, Krishna appears once in the day of Brahma. Because during the day Brahma is awake, and then when he sleeps, there's no creation, there's no activities of creation, so Krishna doesn't appear. So again in 24 hours he'll appear. So once he appears today and then next day of Brahma. Like that he appears in all Brahmandas. Once in the day of that Brahma. Dasya Sakhya Vatsalya Shringara Chari Rasa Chari Bhavera Bhakta Yata Krishna Tara Vasha. So here is saying that there are 4 rasas. Actually, we talk about 5 rasas, but as per Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Shanta is not considered as a rasa at all. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya or Shringara are the 4 rasas. By the devotees who cherish these 4 rasas, Lord Krishna is subdued. Tara Vasha, Krishna Tara Vasha. Krishna comes under their Vasha, under their control. So Krishna is subdued. By whom? By those devotees who cherish these 4 mellows, meaning who are deep engrossed in these 4 mellows, they will subdue Krishna. Like Yashoda Mata bound up Krishna. That is aspect of love. Dasa Sakha Pita Mata Kanta Ganalanaya Raje Krida Kare Krishna Prema Vishtahaya. Absorbed in such transcendental love, Lord Sri Krishna enjoys in Braja. Enjoys. See, Krishna is Atma Rama. No, he is not Atma Rama. He is Paratarama in Goloka. He is Atma Rama as Vishnu, as Paramatma, he is Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied. But in Goloka, he is not self-satisfied. He wants to enjoy with his friend, with all his, dear devotees. He enjoys in Vraja with his devoted servants. There are servants of Krishna. Then there are friends, there are parents and conjugal lovers. Kanta. Kanta is conjugal lovers, like wives. Mm. यथेष्ट विहरी कृष्ण करे अंतर्धाना करी मने करे अनुमाना. Lord Krishna enjoys his transcendental pastimes as long as he wishes. As long as he wishes, there is nobody to control or enforce any rules on him. As long as he wishes, he enjoys, and then he disappears. After disappearing, however, he thinks thus. So this is very, very nice. So another 5 minutes maybe I'll take. Chirakala nahi kari prema bhakti dana. Prema bhakti dana. Bhakti vina jagatera nahi avasthana. Chirakala, for a long time. Nahi kari, I have not done what? Prema bhakti dana. I have not done the dana, that is giving of prema bhakti. Prema bhakti means unalloyed loving service, not Mishra bhakti. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us unalloyed prema bhakti. I have not bestowed prema bhakti to me upon the inhabitants of the world for a long time, because last time he came was in the last day of Brahma. So he's saying for a long time I have not bestowed this. And very, very important, bhakti vina jagatera nahi avasthana. Without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless. Existence of jivas is useless without such loving attachment. Prabhupada translates as that bhakti. Bhakti means, Prabhupada is saying that is a loving attachment to Krishna. Bhakti vina jagatera nahi avasthana. No avastha, no existence, no use of existing. So this whole world is created just for this prema bhakti. To get the bhiksha of prema bhakti, because Lord will give dana. He will, bestow his mercy upon us, and then we will get this prema bhakti, and that is the reason for our existence. Sakala jagate more kare vidhi bhakti vraja bhava paite nahi shakti. Most important verse. Everywhere in the world, people worship me according to scriptural injunctions. Vidhi bhakti, everywhere people are worshipping Krishna in vidhi bhakti. Vidhi bhakti vraja bhava paite nahi shakti. But simply by following such regulatory principles, one cannot attain the loving sentiments of the devotees in Vraja Bhumi. Vraja bhava. So our goal is to attain Vraja bhava. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying that one cannot achieve Vraja bhava by Vaidhi bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti paite nahi shakti. Vaidhi bhakti doesn't have the power to give Vraja bhava. Feelings of love of the inhabitants of Rajabhumi. One cannot attain the loving sentiments of the devotees of Rajabhumi if you do Vaidhi Bhakti. So that is why we talk about Raganuga Bhakti, which is in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas, who are the Vrajavasis. Vrajavasis are called Ragatmika Bhaktas. And Raganuga Bhakti is following in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas. And only by doing so, we can actually understand and develop those loving sentiments of the devotees in Brajabhumi. And that is what is most dear to Krishna, not the Vaidhi Bhakti. Krishna will explain now. Aishwarya Gnane the Saba Jagata Mishrita. Aishwarya Shitila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Nahi Mora Prita. Not dear to me, doesn't attract me. What? Aishwarya Gnanete. Knowing my opulences, having the knowledge of opulences of Krishna, Saba Jagata Mishrita. Mixed, the whole world is mixed up with his reverence. Knowing my opulences, the whole world looks upon me with awe and veneration. Aishwarya Shitila. Aishwarya Shitila, this is most important. Devotion made feeble by such reverence does not attract me. We should never forget this verse. Aishwarya Shitila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Krishna is saying, Prema, which is Shitila, become cold, enfeebled. by Aishwarya, by this awe and reverence, nahi mora prita, it doesn't attract me. It does not attract Krishna. So this bhakti of awe and veneration, awe and reverence, which is Vaidhi bhakti, which is meant for Vaikuntha, does not attract Krishna. Bhakti becomes feeble by such reverence. But again, so we have to keep remembering this, that we cannot artificially go into this state. So the way normally devotees go into this stage is first by doing bhakti in awe and veneration. So first we follow Vaidhi bhakti, we develop dependence on Krishna, we develop faith in Krishna, we have faith that Krishna is all powerful, then we'll understand, we'll depend on him, then we come to Brahmabhuta, then we engage more seriously in Nishta, in Vaidhi Bhakti. And then at some point of time, when we are very fixed in our devotion, and when we start hearing more and more about Krishna's pastimes, then we will slowly make the transition from reverence to Madhurya, from Aishwarya to Madhurya, from awe and reverence to sweetness, which means worshipping Krishna in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis who don't remember Krishna or think of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aishwarya Gnane Vidhi Bhajana Kariya Vaikuntake Yaya Chaturvidha Mukti Paya. By performing Vidhi Bhakti, one may go to Vaikuntha and attain the four kinds of liberation. Not Sayujya, but Salokya, Sarupya, Sasti, and Samipya. So one may go to Vaikuntha and attain four kinds of liberation by Vaidhi Bhakti. Sasti, Sarupya, Ara, Samipya, Salokya, Sayujya, Na, Laya, Bhakta, Yate, Brahma, Aikya. So four. Sarsti, meaning getting opulences equal to those of the Lord. Sarupya, having a form same as the Lord's. Samipya, living as personal associate of the Lord. Salokya, living on a Vaikuntha planet. These are four liberations. Devotees never accept Sayujya, since that is oneness with Brahman. No point, because there's no seva there. So devotees don't want it. Yuga dharma pravartaimu nama sankirtana. Tari bhava bhakti diya na chamu bhuvana. I shall personally inaugurate the religion of the age, Nama Sankirtana, congregational chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy, realizing the four mellows of loving devotional service. So by engaging Nama Sankirtana, one will come to the stage of realizing the four rasas, which means that anybody who wants to achieve perfection in Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya or Madhurya have to engage in Nama Sankirtana. It's very clear from this verse. So one will realize the four mellows based on whatever constitutional position is, etc., etc. And here, this is Chaitanya, Krishna is saying that I shall make the world dance in ecstasy. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy. And then they will realize the four mellows of loving devotion. The process is Nama Sankirtana. आपनी करीमु भक्त भाव अंगीकारे आपनी आचारी भक्ति सिखाइमु अब सबारे. I shall accept the role of a devotee. Apani, I personally, I shall accept the role of a devotee and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. So Krishna is thinking, this is Krishna's mind. Krishna is saying, I shall accept the role of a devotee and I shall teach devotional service. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is teaching us devotional service. आपने ना खैले धर्म शिखाना ना याया eighth Siddhanta Gita Bhagavate Gaya. Unless one practices devotional service himself, he cannot teach it to others. So we can only tell what we are practicing, not what we are not practicing. This conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and Bhagavatam. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanidbhavati bharata vyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanyam sujamyam. So we know all this. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. उत्सीदेयोरिमे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्याम् इमा प्रजा. if I did not show the proper principles of religion. So Krishna is saying dharma samsthapanarthaya. They're saying if I did not show the proper principles of religion, all these birds will fall into ruin, and I would be the cause of unwanted population and would spoil all these living beings. So if dharma is not followed, then there is unwanted population. What is that? Varna Sankara, unwanted population, and it will spoil the whole society. So Krishna is saying, I have to show the path of religion. Otherwise, there's Varna Sankara, and then everything will be spoiled. Yada yada achariti shreshtas taddadeve tarojanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastaddanu vartate. Whatever actions a great man performs, common people follow. So Krishna is a great person, so he's come and to establish dharma, then other people will follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Yuga dharma pravartana hoye amsha haite ama vina anye nare braja prema dite. Very, very important verse. My plenary portions can establish principles of religion for each age. No one but me, however, can bestow the kind of loving service performed by the residents of Braja. So all the other avatars are just coming to do dharma samsthapanarthaya. But Swayam Krishna is coming to give Braja Prema. That Braja Prema cannot be bestowed by anybody else. So these are all secrets. Santvavatara Bahavaha Pankajanabhasya Sarvato Bhadra Krishnad Anya Kova Lathas Api Prema Do Bhakti. There may be many all auspicious incarnations of the person regarded, but who other than Lord Sri Krishna can bestow love of God upon the surrendered soul? So this is another Bilvamangal Thakur. He has written also many books. So yeah, Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Jiva Goswami actually references this verse from Bilva Mangal Thakur's writing in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Tahate apana bhakta gana kari sange prithivite avatari karimu nana range. Therefore, in the company of my devotees, I shall appear on earth and perform various colorful pastimes. So I'll stop here. Eta bhavir khali khale prathama sandhyaya avatirna hoila Krishna apani nadiyaya. Thinking thus, the person who got it, Sri Krishna himself, descended at Nadia early in the age of Kali. So one external reason why Krishna came is to give Nama Sankirtana, because through Nama Sankirtana one can achieve realization or perfection of the four rasas of devotional service as practiced by the devotees in Braja Bhumi. So this is the first external reason why Krishna appeared. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue from here tomorrow. Sri Chaitanya willing. Okay. Any questions, comments? Actually, this is a different world. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a different world. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we have to enter into it. So the idea is actually, and the language is so sweet. Language is so sweet. We should try to enter into it. And we will hear tattva which is not spoken of anywhere in Bhagavatam. So beautiful. Just, when we hear each of these verses, first time I read this, I was like jumping in ecstasy, saying that, who can get this mercy? Who in this whole world, there are so many Vaishnavas, so many different, paramparas, but who can get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It's just like, it's topmost mercy. And see, who can speak the innermost thinking of Krishna? And your acharyas are revealing, saying Krishna is thinking like this. I don't like Vaidhi Bhakti. Whole world will like just fall off their chair. Whole world is into Vaidhi Bhakti. Whoever, all Vaishnavas are into Vaidhi Bhakti. And then Krishna says, no, that doesn't attract me. Just imagine, and we've got this path. And how fortunate we are. How fortunate we are. I mean, just like thought of words. So all we have to do is simply follow this process. Simply follow this process. And we should, these things will get discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Upashaka Gan. So there is the main shaka of devotional service, which has to be, the creeper has to be watered by Shravanam and Kirtan. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, described later in Madhya Lila, that the Upashaka, the sub branches, we have to be very wary about that sub branches. And uh, I've told this before also. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur talks about this in Vaishnava K, and His Holiness Jayapadak Maharaj has written amazing commentary on that. So whoever has not read, I'm again re-emphasizing, because this is where we get stuck. So devotees, we get stuck at different points. First, we get stuck in material attachment. Second, we get stuck in some ulterior motives, la puja pratishtha. And one or two things which I shared the other day in the group, kutinati. So this diplomacy. So there are some qualities which we should avoid. And if we can do all that, then we realize we come to the experiencing the bliss of Harinam, and taking us, entrance into uh, Raja Prema becomes possible. So we're extremely fortunate. So we just have to put our head down and simply follow whatever our Srila Prabhupada has given in his books. Anyway, I'll stop here. If there are any questions, comments, happy to discuss. Nothing? Everybody's happy? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I have doubt.
Yeah.
How will I accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Krishna? Anywhere Bhagavatam it is mentioned, any Purana mention
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah. So many places, no? Like in Vishnu Sahasranama it's mentioned, Bhagavatam mentions, Vishnu Sahasranama says, no? Suvarna Varnahi Mango Varangas Chandanangadi Sannyasa Krichamashanto Nishta Shanti Parayanam. Bhagavatam also says 11th canto, 12th canto. So there are references, multiple Shastras have references about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada actually in one of these purports actually gives a detailed support of Shastra, of Shastric support to show that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. We can read. I'm not going to all the detailed tattva, but it's all given in Prabhupada's books. It's there. Two famous ones are Bhagavatam and Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam more because Mahabharat, lot more people accept. So it's in that only it's very clear that this is the avatar. And Bhagavatam also speaks. And then there are other Vedic scriptures also which are supporting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Sumantra Mataji, you are saying anything? Okay. Okay. There's nothing else, then we'll stop here. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavandi ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.